I really think there's no bad time to flirt. I'm all about shooting your shot.
Sometimes being a good friend means calling them out on their dumb decisions.
If he doesn't open the door for me on a first date, huge red flag.
Welcome to Dialed In.
Hello.
Welcome to Dialed In, your daily dose of unlicensed therapy. I'm Rachel.
I'm Montaine, and we are with
Grace O'Malley.
What is up, Grace? If you guys have a question for us today, for Grace, this is the only hour where you can join the conversation. So call us at
888-91 on air. That is 888-916-6247. How's the mic? You all good? You're
Yeah,
all
we're
set
good.
up?
I just ran from the other show. You know?
Grace was just on the Daily Dirty. It's a pop culture show that's on right before ours. And now she's here to talk to us, to talk to you guys, and just to get into some shit.
I heard your acting chops on the other show.
Oh, you did.
We're gonna put in your sizzle reel.
Oh yeah, no, that's I'm not getting any gigs, and that's not gonna help. So
Yeah.
Well, you're here right now.
here we are. Yeah.
That's what you're in the land of like fakeness and networking. So it's like I feel like everyone's
in this room or in LA in general.
Well,
No, we kind of keep it real in here.
Okay,
this
that's
room
good.
they keep us like in this little tight box. It's the only place of realness left in LA.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
'cause there's
I love
nowhere to
that.
run.
There's nowhere to run.
Yeah.
You're locked in.
Exactly.
What are you
We're
doing
dialed
at?
in.
You're dialed in. My
Yeah.
apologies.
We are dialed in. Okay, so welcome to LA. Welcome to Dialed In. How's it
Thank you.
going?
It's good. You know, this is I just said on the last show, but LA is shitty heaven. And New York is fun hell, and you know,
I
You
do.
lived there.
I'm from New York.
I also lived in New York.
Oh, sorry.
You know, for a hot like 11 months.
But you had like a terrible
Yeah.
New York experience.
Yeah, it was fun hell.
What happened?
I had a concussion. My dogs died. I had COVID. I lived in 4 different apartments in 10 months. What else do you want to know?
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do. Yeah.
Trauma dumping on us already.
Good.
It's okay.
one.
We've healed.
Okay.
I'm
And
glad.
and
Do you
shitty
ever? Do you
heaven.
think you'd ever go back to New York and like do it again?
If I was really, really rich, I for sure would.
Okay.
I feel like that's the only way I would be happy.
Okay.
You know?
And
Yeah.
do you feel like you're doing New York right now, like being on the comedy circuit?
Oh yeah, I'm locked in for the next like 10 years.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Very
you're on a
least,
10-year
yeah.
lease.
So you sleep during the day and then club at night?
No, I really kind of like I grind in the day and then I go and I do the clubs at night. It's like
And how do you sleep?
I'll sleep in. I sleep until like 10,
Okay.
10 or 11.
I think
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like back in New York, I was hanging out with a lot of comics too, and I was like, their schedule is what my schedule used to be, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Except when you're not doing comedy, I'm like, why am I hanging around? Because I'm not even like gigging.
You're like, what
I'm
am I
not even
here?
doing it. I'm just
Yeah,
the
'cause you're
guy.
like, I'm not even funny.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm trying. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh,
We're just trying to be funny.
You just call them not funny.
it's okay. I'm used to abuse on this show.
That's
Damn.
part of our bet.
I'm
Okay.
I'm outnumbered at Unwell. Like I'm a guy. It's mostly women
a
at
guy.
Unwell. So I'm really getting the full woman experience in the rest of America.
Yeah, we
The way it
put
should
makeup
be.
on him the other day.
Oh,
We're trying to make
lovely.
him one of us.
One of us.
For
One
the-
of us.
One of us for the Met Gala, exactly. How was Beyonce last night? I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
even
so I
ask.
went to
you
the
went to
Beyonce
Beyonce.
concert
Oh,
last
God.
night, and it was one of the best shows I think I've ever seen, I have to say. And I go to a lot of concerts. It's
Yeah.
kind of my thing, and we'll get into a little rave girl sports betting son debate later in the show, but as a concert goer, I feel like I know when I see a good show, and you can't go to Beyonce and not see a good show. Like,
Oh, no,
she
yeah, of
is
course.
Queen Bee for a reason. Every second of the show just kept getting better and better and better and better.
How was
and I was
Blue
like,
Ivy's dancing?
Blue Ivy, wow, what a girl. I was clapping. I'm like, go Blue, I'm so proud of you. I'm like saying that out loud as if I'm
you're her mother.
Yeah, like I'm Beyonce. She, at one point, Blue, like, Beyonce does these changes. She has a screen going on, and then she comes out in this hat, but it's all shadowed on her. It's just her silhouette, and she like throws the hat off, starts walking down the runway, and then they put the lights on, and it's Blue Ivy. It's not
Whoa.
Beyonce. And I'm like, oh my god, what? That's MIDI
Fooled
Beyonce.
you.
Yeah, and she's like walking, does the entire runway, doesn't give a shit, does a whole dance at the front, and then she's like, hearts, peace signs. I'm actually 12 years old. Don't forget it.
Yeah, and she's
I was
tall,
like-
isn't she?
Yeah, she's a model. She's great.
Yeah, good for her.
I was just in awe. You know, she did a little "If I Were a Boy" moment,
wow.
tearjerker.
That is a good one.
To
I
the
just-
left, to the left.
Every day I wake
everything
up
you
and I
own.
just go,
Yeah, my grandma loved that song.
Whose
That was like
grandma
her favorite
didn't love
song.
that, you know, my dad always.
she's
was
like,
singing
your
that
favorite
one.
song? My grandmother likes
Yeah.
that song.
No, single ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Do
a
you like
thing.
it?
She was divorced and
Yeah.
she loved that song.
Yeah, and as a single lady, through and through, I love that song as well.
It's an
Yeah.
anthem.
It is. Put a ring on it, please,
I
someone. If you're
unfortunately
listening.
I learned part of that dance back in the day. So like
Little of this?
that one and like the dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
Like
Like
the
so I pull that out when I'm like really hammered sometimes. And
Oh, that's
everyone's
your
like,
party trick.
Damn, yeah, it's one of them.
That's
Do you
a
wear a
good party
leotard?
trick.
I used to. I did ballet back in the day.
Oh,
so
okay.
I didn't actually wear like the full one piece, but I wore tights and a white shirt all the time.
That's like the skit. Justin Timberlake did that with
What?
Bobby Moynihan, the single ladies on SNL.
Oh, I remember.
And
It
Dick
was
in a
awesome.
Box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dick in
yeah.
a Box was my favorite.
Yeah.
And
it's
Mother
good stuff.
Lover and all that.
Yeah.
You remember
that one.
those?
No.
Threw it on the ground. I know all the classics.
Memory
Lonely
loss.
Island.
Oh, Lonely Island.
Was
yeah.
that one of your things that you ever wanted to like write for SNL back in the day?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Okay,
still,
yeah, so
I
that
still
was
would.
a question I had for you. Like, have you always wanted to be a comedian?
Yeah, 100%. I just didn't think it was like feasible. And so my idea was I was going to go to college, and when I was there, I was like, oh, maybe like a fun job I could like realistically do is like maybe if I went into school for like communications, maybe one day I could write for Super Bowl commercials because those are funny, and like work my way towards that.
Yeah.
And that way I still have a corporate job, but I could still be funny.
That's actually still a really good idea.
Yeah.
I feel like that you have a goal in mind. You're like, I want to be a comedian. What's the most like realistic way I can get there?
Yeah.
It's like coming up with a good plan like that. And then obviously that's not how it worked out.
Yeah, no, things got a little different.
I know. So do you ever deal with like, at least for me, you know, I think all of us kind of got here in a different crazy way. And so
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, should I even be here? Like, and dealing with imposter syndrome. 'Cause
Yeah.
for everyone listening, Grace is working with like the biggest comedians. You have your own show.
Wait, what is
Disgraceful.
imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome.
Jesus Christ.
Do you actually not know?
No, I actually
Okay.
don't.
So-
That's just like that's just like a guy, a real big guy thing to say.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Men don't have imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
it
they're
seems
like, I was born to be here.
It's like when you feel like what was that?
that was the
They
gods
play that-
above just telling me that I'm right.
They play that every time I'm wrong about something on the show. Just goes bing.
Yeah.
Wrong, man.
I thought I was having a schizophrenic break.
Yeah, it's okay if you are. It's a safe space. But basically, what imposter syndrome is let's say, just not feeling like you are not actually qualified to be doing the job that you're doing. So like you get hired to be like the head of marketing. You're like, I have no marketing experience. Why am I here? But realistically, like you do.
Oh, I've had that. I just didn't know what to call it.
Yeah.
I thought I was being bad at my job.
Yeah, it's when you think
Like-
you're bad at your job. And you're the one thinking that, but no one else thinks that.
Got it,
You're like,
got it.
I'm a fraud. I'm not supposed
I
to
did.
be here.
I used to work at this. This is so stupid, but I used to work at like a pharmaceutical company, like before I was doing social media and stuff.
So you were a
And-
drug dealer?
No, well, good. I was.
Good.
I was dealing overpriced drugs to patients in need, and I was working in data. And basically, I got put on the dream project where I had no boss to report to. I basically had like one report, and I got put on like a 3-year project. And anybody else would have been like, "This is the dream. You're getting a paycheck. Nobody checks in." And I was like, why the fuck am I here?
Right.
I was like, I show up to work, I don't talk to anybody, I don't do anything, and nobody asks me any questions.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, you're like, I'm an imposter.
So then I started posting TikToks on the side, and then
And then you're like, I meant to do this.
thank God.
No, but
Now I just sell drugs recreationally.
There you go.
and I just do them recreationally.
Yeah.
Speaking of imposter syndrome, though, do you ever suffer with that? Because a lot of people who call in to the show, they're dealing with like looking for what they're going to do in their career or how can they make it work. They don't have experience. So I feel like you were kind of thrown into it, and you also like worked at it a lot. Do you ever like get on stage and you're like, I should not be here? Or like, how do you overcome those thoughts if they happen?
I've had imposter syndrome like my whole life, and then there comes a point where it's just like you have to stop caring about what other people think, and it's like the easiest, the most cliche thing to say, but like once you like truly like take yourself out of that mindset, you can like you get a little bit of more confidence, and
Yeah.
I'm still a nervous wreck before I go on stage any time, but I don't think I'll ever lose that. I think it actually like helps you
Helps you care.
and like it's the driving function of it all. But yeah, I mean finding yourself with imposter syndrome, it's not an easy switch out.
Yeah.
But you have to keep reminding yourself that you're supposed to be there. You're there for a reason.
And it's
Yeah.
it's a ruthless industry.
yeah,
Like
it
comedy
really
is fucking ruthless because in addition to like comics also being super self-righteous and fucking judgy over other people's material, it's literally like you have to prove it to a new crowd every single time you're on stage.
Yeah.
Like even if you have especially if you have a name.
Right.
Once you have the name, then they're like, "We'll prove it, motherfucker."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do find that like comedians do tend to also be self-deprecating, but you also have to be so confident to get on stage. Because like for me, for example, my friend threw herself a comedy roast birthday party last week and signed me up on the flyer without my consent to do it. So I had no choice but to get on the stage with all her comedian friends and do a roast. And I'm up there with my bat mitzvah speech, shaking like my paper. And I was so nervous until like halfway through. So
How'd you do?
apparently,
She killed.
apparently,
killed? You crushed? Hell yeah.
All the comedians are coming up to me after being like, "You stole the show."
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, "I'm a closeted comedian."
There you go. I think it's
Yeah.
so funny when people throw themselves a roast. My
Same.
friend, my
It's so
friend also did that.
interesting.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
I don't want to know, honestly.
I wouldn't-
I don't think I could handle the roast.
I think I know. Like, I already know. I roast myself on a daily basis, so I would
Yeah.
be down for like some affirmations of
Like the
roasting.
fact that Tom Brady signed up for that, I was like, damn, dude.
That was pretty baller.
I was like, I mean, I'm like, good for you, but I'm like, he was really getting ripped in a
Yeah,
way like I haven't
he's
seen
still
people get
talking
ripped.
about it though. I was just reading an article yesterday or listening to a podcast about him talking
It's
to.
always.
yeah.
I was reading an article. Well, I guess it was.
I'd actually
I saw a
can't
clip.
read.
I was on Instagram. We say that all the time. Emily, our producer, like sends us articles all the time. She's like, you guys should read this. I'm like, you just sent us an Instagram post.
Yeah,
Like
she
it's
sends
not
us
an
like
article.
an Instagram carousel, and she's like, "This article says."
Yeah, I read the.
Ding.
Thank you,
Yeah.
God.
Totally.
Wait, do you remember? This might be a crazy question, but like the first time you got on stage versus like the first time you felt like you had bombed, and like the differences between both.
Oh no, that was the same day.
It was
Yeah.
the same day.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was absolutely the same day. And then I went home. Well, actually, I was with a friend. I did an open mic and I bombed, and it was my first time. And I was with a friend. She's like, "Oh, we'll just go up again." And I bombed again at another place. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm actually gonna go home. I'm not somebody to ever call it a night."
Yeah. Mhm.
I went. I popped into the bodega. I got a $10 big bottle of wine, and I drank it on the fire escape and cried.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
so
it
how
was
did-
so New York.
how
You
did
know it's bad too when you get the bodega wine because the bodega doesn't even have like real wine. It has
No.
like shittier bottles. Do you know that in New York?
No.
You never had the bodega
It's like
wine?
not even real.
It's like barefoot. You never
Yeah.
had barefoot?
Oh yeah, I had, but like back in the day, you know.
Shout out to Barefoot if you're listening. Please just send me a couple
I
bottles.
still
Yeah.
think it's delicious.
So
Yeah.
how did you overcome that like double crying back to back with the wine? Like how did you get back out there?
Sometimes you just like if you want something, you just have to go after it. And
Yeah.
so I just kept going up, and then it wasn't until Whitney Cummings,
Yeah.
she kind of took me under her wing. Well, she fully took me under her wing, and if she didn't ask me to open for her, I would have never done stand up full time.
That's amazing.
How did you guys meet?
She came on Plan Brie.
Okay, cool.
And so I was so nervous. I just kept being like, it's like
Because you were like a fan of her before.
yeah. And so it took me like 45 minutes to like finally be myself. And she was
Yeah.
like, wait, no, you're funny.
She's
Would
like
you
in
want
the
to
last
open?
in the last minute, you're like, by the way, and she's
Yeah.
like, wait, that was so funny.
And I was like,
Come
oh,
with me.
thank God. Yes, let's go. And then
Yeah.
I thought she was fucking with me. Then we went on her podcast the next day, and she was like, you getting ready? I'm like, for what? She's
Yeah.
like, coming on tour with me. I was like, oh, you meant that. All right,
Oh
let's
my
do this.
God.
Let's do this.
So that is so amazing. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Do you think that like had that not happened, you wouldn't still end up in this place? Like it seems like this is what you always wanted. Don't you think there might have been another route, or it was like right moment, right time?
It was like serendipitous.
Yeah.
Really. I would do shows. Like if a buddy asked me to do a show, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm still doing it. They'd be like, you still doing comedy? I'm like, yeah. And I'd write a new set for every show, and realize that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to practice the same one
And
make
hone
it
it,
good.
and hone it.
Yeah.
Oh,
see,
no.
I would never know that.
Yeah, I thought you were just supposed to willy nilly write
Hey,
a
what's
new
up,
thing every
guys?
time.
I'm friends with a couple comics.
That's like us
There
every
you
day
go.
here. That's us every day, willy nilly.
Yeah. Well, this is a different realm. You
Yeah.
can willy nilly this and crush.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
so
true.
much. We're just like giving people advice on their life.
Yeah.
We could willy
That's
nilly
good
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're unlicensed therapists.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what we are.
Yeah, that's a really good to willy
You
nilly.
kind of did put yourself in the right position because like you were going to comedy open mics before that happened with Whitney. So it's
Yeah.
not like you just were like, oh, hi, Whitney. Nice to meet you. I'm coming on. Like you were indirectly prepping for it.
Yeah, I always wanted to do stand up. It's just like every time I went up, I just felt like I wasn't doing it right, but because I wasn't doing it right. I
Yeah.
wasn't.
So
like,
did
I
she
was,
teach
like,
you how to do it right?
No, I kind of just like once I got more into the scene and like as soon as she told me that as soon as she asked me to open for her, I was like, oh, I have to go up as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned throughout as I met friends and they told me and they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I gotta switch it all
Right.
up. Yeah.
So
So
do you do similar sets now, like most nights?
so if you see me in New York, I'm doing like a 10 to 15 minute set.
Yeah.
And that switches every week. But
Okay.
if you come and see me on tour, that's it, like about an hour
Yeah,
a
that's
little bit more than an hour, and that's the same thing pretty much every time.
Oh, wow.
An hour.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I remember like the first time, like I'm too scared to actually do it, but like when I was even helping my friend like prep a 5, and a 5 was like so long to me.
Well, five is brutal after doing an hour.
It's crazy.
Because you're trying to pick your best 5. Like I have something I'm auditioning for next week, and I have to pick 5 minutes of my best stuff.
That is craziness.
And
like,
you
how
need
do you
it-
bring that down?
And you need it to like describe you and like be your best work all at the same time.
And also like tell
in
a
5
story.
minutes.
You want it to be like a cohesive thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're doing like your weekly sets that kind of change it up, are you procrastinating writing your jokes? Because we were talking about procrastination and how like we're I'm a big procrastinator.
Don't put that energy.
Yeah, I was like,
on
I don't
me.
know about you. You seem like you're prepared. And also we were just talking about how like at the airport now, they switched the IDs where you now need to bring like a real ID, and they've been saying it for 4 years, and there's still people who are like showing up yesterday being like, what? And so we want to talk about procrastination. And are you a procrastinator?
Listen, I haven't had my license in 5 years.
Okay,
So
so she
I
is.
am
Yeah.
in that boat.
I'm not, this is a zero judgment zone for me because I just got my license like 2 months ago.
Like for the first time?
First time.
Wow.
At 26.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Wow. That's not easy.
Her and Alex Cooper both clowned the shit out of me for not having a license at first. And they were like, we're talking about like dating before. And they were like, nobody would ever date you. We would never, like, if you didn't have a license just on that alone. And I was like,
Well, that's just because I'm passenger princess. That's just my vibe.
Okay. Well, so you don't really have room to talk because you're not going to be doing the driving yourself.
Yeah, no, I've been driving myself, but I'm ready to like park my car and hop in the
you're
front
ready to be
seat.
driven off
I'm
your
ready
feet.
to call shotgun,
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I want to go autopilot.
You went expired license?
Yeah, it expired in 2020.
See, I had a very similar thing when I used to go to clubs or whatever, or bars back in New York. My ID, most of the time they wouldn't give me shit, but it expired in 2020. And anytime I went since, they were like, hey, like, this is expired. Like, we can't do this. And I'd be like, come on. Like, you clearly see how old I am. That's the purpose of the ID. And they were like, no, we need an up-to-date ID. I'm like, for what? And then I'm just out there like being an asshole arguing with someone at the door.
Procrastinator.
So I just went home. I was like, all right, have a good night.
Yeah, I will say that is what procrastinating is.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
I have over 8,000 unread emails. Does that count?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 100%.
I've also
8,000. All right, let me go into my email real quick.
And I've been living in my apartment for almost 3 years, and only like a few months ago did I get a rug.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
like I was never for sure planning on staying at this apartment.
What was that? Procrastinating on like setting up a house?
Yeah, no. So I still like don't have furniture in my room because like for the last 3 years I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna be moving soon.
Yeah.
And like I've been pushing off the moving every month for 3 years. So like
Yeah.
I actually am just waiting till I move to like set up my home.
Wait, how did you get set up in New York? Like, because you're traveling all the time.
Yeah, no. So I moved in August, and I have I think I have 2 boxes I still haven't unpacked.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're just in the corner in my living room.
It's great that they're keeping your apartment company while you're paying rent on your New York place.
Yeah, it's it is what it is because it's a catch-22. Like I have to live in New York.
Yeah.
For when I'm not on tour and I want to go up as much as I can.
Totally.
Doing stand up, and so they've got me.
I saw this thing yesterday that's like, instead of bailing on plans for any reason, you just say, I'm actually just using my rent. I'm just like staying in my apartment.
Yeah.
I actually paid rent this month.
People are making TikToks being like, how I'm using my rent. Or like how my landlord payments are looking this month.
I'm
It's
staying
like,
in my apartment.
Dude, with their most aesthetic apartments ever. And I'm
Yeah.
out here like with my cardboard.
Yeah, I know. I wish I like was like pumped to go home.
What's the reason?
Like it's not like it's just not like a fun place to go back to.
Well, maybe because you have 2 boxes still there.
Yeah, well,
How long have you been? So you've been procrastinating like me and making your home. a real
I also
home.
have my sister living with me right now, and it's a 1-bedroom, so she is on the couch for now, and so we're figuring that out.
Yeah.
She's on both boxes. Just like one's a pillow,
It's like a
one's a
hammock.
fucking hammock.
Well, we actually want to get into after the break. We're going to get into some family dynamics. I know we have some callers who are going to call in about some family dynamics of themselves that they want Grace's advice on. So if you guys have anything that you're looking to, get off your chest, call us at 888-91 on air. That's 888-916-6247. We're going to get into all of the things. I'm so excited.
We're going to get into all
I'm like
the
procrastinating going on to break.
things. Hell yeah.
Is this like Watch What Happens Live, where they're fake calls or they
No,
real
this is
calls?
real calls.
All right, let's do it.
Watch What Happens Live fake calls.
Nah, they speculate.
Damn.
I always wonder.
Bravo.
I always wonder about like all those shows, and I'm like, what is set up and what isn't set up?
I think
you know?
what's
Most of it
set up.
is.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because I know a lot of people who work in TV, and I'm like, I know all these fucking
As you
segments
know,
are bullshit.
I like to watch Real Housewives all the child.
too.
Like that's really okay.
Yeah, love.
We could.
You
totally
shouldn't have
get
said
into
that.
Love.
I'll just move the mic.
What's your favorite franchise?
I early New York, and then I'd say like 2010s Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Those were some primetime
Those
days.
were good.
I'm a Salt Lake girly.
Oh, Salt Lake.
I've never seen
receipts,
any of them.
timelines.
It
proof.
is good because they're Mormons.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
adds a little juice.
It does. I just think that it's not set up in the sense of like what they're actually saying. Like you can't write some of the shit that comes out of their mouth, but you can be like, okay, now you're going to wait. You're mad at, like Grace, you're mad at Montaine. Do not say anything to him until you guys go for lunch and then
Yes.
bring it up there.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
what I think.
With
is
the
setup
cameras
part.
on.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, go.
Yeah.
I
Light
always
a
wonder
match.
on like Love Island or on shows like that too, when it's like, I'm taking you out for a romantic dinner.
Yeah.
And it's like 17 cameras. I'm just like, hey, like if one camera were on me, I would not be able to eat a meal with anybody.
There's
I'm
3
like, how-
cameras currently on you.
Okay, well, that explains why I'm so awkward. Well, if you want to stay tuned for all the rest of the fun, we have Grace O'Malley with us on Dialed In, so keep it locked here until after the break.
Welcome back to Dialed In, the only hour that you can join the conversation. So call us because we are here with Grace O'Malley.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I thought you were going to do an Irish accent for O'Malley.
O'Malley.
Could you do a really good Irish accent?
No, we should make her do it.
I can do a really good Irish accent.
Ooh, okay.
That was good.
That was-
Anyways, what I was going to say is call us at 888-91 on air. That's 888-916-6247.
Hell yeah. That was a pretty good Irish accent. You're Irish. That's
I-
true.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's all I could do.
The luck
really.
of the Irish.
I used to live in Ireland for like 5 years.
No shit.
Yeah.
I went
You're
to
a
Ireland
mystery,
for
man.
like one day.
I know. I'm just an enigma. Nothing makes sense about me.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Or my life. I went to Trinity. Have you been over there yet?
I went, yeah, I took my grandma to Dublin one year.
And it was
You took your grandma?
Yeah.
and it was amazing.
Wow,
Come
that
on.
was so fun.
Yeah. Well, she was pissed because I accidentally got an Airbnb next to a sex shop. It kind of tainted the
Happens.
whole thing for her.
I feel like that's a plus.
She should have been a nun.
No, she's into the single ladies.
Got it. Got it. Next to a sex shop, I feel like I know where that is in Dublin.
That's weird. You know, the one sex shop.
You're gonna have
next
to be more
that Airbnb.
specific. But what?
Nothing.
Oh, we have a caller on the line.
Yeah.
Let's get to one of our favorite segments. Let's get to Unrestricted.
Unrestricted.
Yeah, Unrestricted basically means if you want to call us at 888-91 on air, that is 888-916-6247, you can call us and talk to us about whatever the fuck it is, even if it's going to make me uncomfortable. Okay, so let's just get to it. We have Becca on the line. Becca, you're dialed in with us and Grace. So what's up?
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. So, yeah, I'm just having an issue with my older brother. Our dynamic up until this point has always been like I'm the annoying little sister, he's the older brother, like the very natural family dynamic. But I recently got into a really healthy relationship, and he's kind of been struggling with his own dating life and has started kind of using me like his relationship therapist. And so I'm having to hear about his sex life, his like confidence, his all these things that are like just very, I don't know, like I don't feel like I'm qualified just because I'm in a happy and healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't really want this, but I don't want him to, be mad at me. So I don't know, like, how do I draw this boundary?
Hey, Becca with the brag and Brecca. You got a happy and healthy relationship. I'm so pumped for you.
Yeah, me too. That sounds like the dream.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Wait, so it's just like, so what she's saying is she's basically not being paid to be a therapist.
Yeah.
I mean, are we?
No, I think what she's also saying, it's like, it's making her uncomfortable to hear about her brother's sex life, which honestly fair.
Yeah.
Who the
Yeah, it
fuck
sounds like a
wants-
porno.
Yeah. Sounds like a bad movie.
Yeah.
Oh, those are
Wait,
pretty
and
good,
you're-
actually.
and you're-
Sorry, too much?
No, that was good.
Yeah.
Wait, Becca, you're
unrestricted.
the younger sibling, right?
Yeah.
And is
so
his-
I'm 6 years younger than him.
And is his relationship like going through it right now? Like, what's going on?
Well, he's just like, he's moved around a lot because he's in medical school. So it's like the residency programs, like the way that all that stuff works is you move to different hospitals. I don't really know. But so he's like, hasn't really had like time to like lay down roots,
Yeah.
I think. And it's just, so anytime he tries to date, he has to move. And then he doesn't really have like a solid friend group that's like in his city. So I feel like he's
hard.
lonely, So I don't want to like, I just don't want to hear about it either because it's a lot of information.
Well, I'm unqualified to talk about this because I'm an only child. So I don't really know how to, I mean, I can give advice on siblings, but you have a sibling.
I do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have multiple?
I do. I have 3 younger sisters.
There you go.
Okay. And
you
I have one older brother.
So you guys are more qualified to talk on siblings than I am. How do you set boundaries with your siblings?
I mean, it's tough. I feel like with siblings, there's so many ways you could go about it because you can really say whatever you want to your sibling, but there could be consequences, you know?
Yeah.
I think on one end, let's like shift your perspective just for 1 minute because what you said at the beginning was you've always been like the annoying little sister. And on one end, that now has changed where he's kind of coming to you and looking up to you in a way. And so I know it's annoying and we'll work on how to maybe set a boundary, but also taking a moment to be like excited that now you have a new relationship with your brother where you kind of, he like is looking up to you and it's like you guys can maybe become closer because of this versus being like, oh, I'm so annoying to my brother because no one wants to feel like that.
That's a good way of looking at it, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe you can just say to him like, bro, maybe let's cut back on the sex life details. I feel like you can just be super brutally honest.
I think that's fair. Also, do you have another sibling you can put this off on?
Yeah.
I have another older brother.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, the older brother should be really hearing this stuff. I
Yeah.
think. Oh, you could tell the older brother. You guys talk about the sex stuff.
Yeah.
And then you can give like good womanly advice.
Yeah, like you can be there for like the emotional stuff. Like if you're feeling down, I'm happy to talk to you. But like anything sex related, please go to other brother.
yeah.
Other brother.
Yeah, like you two, like
Doesn't even have a
that's-
name.
Yeah,
Just other brother.
brother 1 and brother 2 need to pair up, and you can be there for like the sweet, comforting relief.
Yeah. I kind of like that advice. Grace, I have a quick question. So you are the eldest sibling.
I am. Yes.
Is it more pressure to be the eldest sibling or a middle sibling in your opinion as someone with only younger siblings?
I think the oldest
Okay.
is the pressure because you're supposed to be the role model. I've never been much of that, but I don't know. You have to be there for your siblings regardless. So
Yeah.
you know, Becca, you've been good so far.
Yeah.
Is she gone?
Yeah.
Oh, you
She's
don't
on
even
a-
say goodbye.
She's over on the show.
You guys are insane.
No, the thing about Dialed In is basically the callers call in, we give them their info, and they're like, all right, peace out.
And then I saw you guys just give a thumbs down.
Yeah, we just give a thumbs down like they're terrible.
Oh,
No.
wow.
X amount.
We're just like, because we get a lot of callers, so we want to make sure we get to everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, we got to teach her the signals. It's like scuba diving. In real world scenarios, this is like good, but in scuba diving, this means like I got to go to the surface. Like my air is running out. So in the show, this is like
We're doing thumbs up and thumbs down for
yeah,
everyone. who's
guys, we're
listening.
doing signals. Okay,
Yeah, we're
If
doing
you're
signals
watching-
on a radio show.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to join the conversation, you can 888-91 on air. That is 888-916-6247. See, for me, I have none of the sibling pressure because I am an only child, which is actually when I was growing up, I thought was the shit, and
Right.
now I'm like, this is the cause of all my problems.
You're like, I wish I had someone to share my trauma with.
yeah, like anybody. Like
Yeah.
now, at least, like your siblings are like how much younger than you?
Oh, they range. It's crazy. We've got 23, we've got 18, and we also have 12.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow,
So you have all
12.
types.
Yeah.
And you work with one of your sisters.
Yes, Nora.
Yeah. So Nora and
She's
you
23.
She's 23. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we actually wanted to ask you because I feel like going into business with a sibling can either be like so great or kind of go sour. So like, what is the family dynamic like between you guys working together?
The two of us, we have the same sense of humor, and so like it just made sense for like she gets me, I get her, and like we're starting to piss people off when we hang out with them because we'll have a conversation by saying like 3 words and be like, yeah, no, I know, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
What are you guys even talking about? Like, oh, we just kind of had like a
Sibling telepathy.
yeah, kind of, that kind of thing. But no, it's been great. She just graduated college, so. She didn't really want to do what she just graduated for,
So fair.
and so it was. She went for child development, so she's still kind of doing that with me.
With you, with her older sis.
Yeah,
Well, I feel
She
like
got thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
In terms of child development.
that's something I always wanted was a sister because I feel like it's a built-in best friend. Where
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
can really speak the same language, like you said, and people are also very interested in sister sibling dynamics.
Oh, yeah.
And when you work well together, you can take over the world, like the Kardashians, our
Oh, yeah.
sisters, and
I've never thought to compare us
you
to
guys
the
are like the
Kardashians. No,
and Nora's like Kris Jenner. You know,
yeah, you know, sure.
She's pulling the strings. She's telling Grace, "You cannot do
Yeah,
this."
Yeah, she's my puppet master.
Yeah.
But at what
And you're
age?
Kim.
This is like from an only child looking in. Like, what age do you stop being just like the mentor and kind of like respect each other just as grown adults?
We didn't fuck with each other until I had to drive her to school. And when I started driving her to school, we started actually like talking
Like
and
high
bonding.
school?
You're like, hey, wait a minute.
And I was
you
like,
don't
wait, you're
suck.
actually kind of cool. Fuck, I didn't want to admit that.
Yeah.
So that's still pretty young to like get on the same page.
Yeah, so she was a freshman and I was a senior, and I was like, you're pretty cool. Yeah.
Aww.
And so like we've been friends since that.
That's so
That's
sweet.
really
You
nice.
acknowledge your sibling as like another human being.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. But before she was, I was like, oh, I can't tell you anything because you're kind of like a narc.
Yeah, like you're gonna you're gonna rat me out.
Yeah, and I was scared of that. I would like put her on my private story and then take her off if I didn't trust her, and like put like back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We talk about this all the
noticed.
time. Like your closest friends are like your biggest ops sometimes, and you're just like
Really?
your own. Yeah, because like your siblings sometimes, or like other friends, or like you kind of feel like this. Like people you see on social media sometimes, you're like, I see you looking or whatever. I don't know if I trust you seeing this information on a close friend's story. You know what I mean?
oh, I keep it tight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Well, how
even-
tight? How many people
Yeah,
are on the
how many
close
people
friends?
are on our close friends?
I think I've got like
seven.
15.
Same. Okay, I have
I have
15.
like 70.
And
That's see, I'm on some people's
I've
close
been-
friend stories. I am not close friends with, and I'm like, why am I included?
some people have a different interpretation of what close friends should be.
Why am I
Sorry
included in
that
that?
I'm popular. I'm kidding.
You do not have 70 close friends.
I
Give
have
me a fucking break.
52.
That is still too many.
It is. I agree.
I thought you said 7 at first.
I said 70, but then I've actually dialed it back. I'm getting
You dialed
Dialed it in.
I've dialed in.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like cutting people off left, right, and center. No, I'm not.
No, you're not. You're adding more.
Yeah, no, it's
Your
like a
friends
switch
are listening,
out.
saying, "Oh my god, oh wow."
Yeah, it's
I
like
am-
if you were not seeing my close friend story. You know what I hate actually? Something that has been bothering me. Speaking of close friends, is when people that I'm not close with put me on their close friends.
Oh, I like it. I think it's like, I
No, like
like.
some people I've never even met, like my Instagram friends. Like, those people that you are mutual with, they see your profile, they follow you, and then they put you on their close friends. And I'm just like, I don't need to know your deepest, darkest thoughts.
Oh, I take it as a compliment. I'm like, oh, you see me as a trustworthy person.
Grace goes, oh, thank you so much. I'm not putting you on mine, but thank
no,
you so
absolutely not.
Yeah.
But like, but different people have different interpretations of what close
Yeah.
friends should be. I have a crazy story about close friends.
Tell me.
One time I was working with this guy, and well, it was like somebody I worked with's brother, and he asked to see our phone to follow himself on Instagram, and when we gave him our phones, he added himself to our close friends.
Knew that
That's
was
so
coming.
crazy.
You
It's
give
so
the phone.
invasive.
You give the phone.
I'm not an asshole.
I would never give
To
someone
a
my
random
phone.
person?
I
It
wouldn't.
was like a coworker's brother.
I feel like, us girls were too trusting.
Yeah, I guess.
Have you given your phone since?
Yeah, all the time. Anyone who wants my number, I give it to them.
How long
Like,
did it
it
take you
doesn't
to
matter.
realize he was on the close friends?
888-91 on air. 888-916-6247.
I found out like right away.
Okay, yeah.
And then I told my other friend who also gave him her phone, and I said, dude, check your close friends. I think he just added us, and it was.
What a weird move.
I think it's very invasive.
Yeah.
I think
That's
he
too
had
much.
the,
Like,
he had
what
the
do you
wrong.
want to know? Just ask for my number instead.
Yeah, that was I was bullshit.
Did they think did they think you weren't going to find out? Like what was
They
the
think
logic?
You're dumb?
Like yeah, I don't know.
What's the logic of
I
adding
think
it?
he thought like girls post nudes on there, and I was like,
No, that's not what we post the opposite of nudes.
yeah, quite the opposite.
It's like we are posting the ugliest photos of ourselves.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you guys posting news, you fellas over there?
I'm posting nudes and it's just me on my story.
Shit.
I always get worried. All right, tell me if I'm crazy. If I ever take like any, not like scandalous pic, but if I do it, sometimes I do it on Instagram because I just have it. And then I'm like, I see how celebs like,
scandalous photos.
not like anything crazy, but I see how celebs leak stuff by accident and post it on their story because I've almost clicked post to story like so many times. And I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, well, Instagram has the better camera for whatever
That's
reason.
what I
don't
say.
know what it is.
What is
I
up with the
don't know what
Instagram
makes it
camera?
switch.
It does. Even though now when you save drafts, it makes it blurry when
Does
you go
it?
back to it. Just saying. Some things I've been noticing about IG.
Glitching.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the new thing that they're doing on
I hate-
Instagram? I hate it so much.
What's the new thing?
The new thing that they're doing is on your main grid, showing you how many views each of your photos get on your grid.
I've never seen that.
I showed it to you the other day.
Oh, you're right.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Shit.
One more thing about close friends, and then we can get to some more callers, is that sometimes when I'm just feeling a little, crazy and feeling myself, I'll start posting like a rant on my story, a lot of my
Yeah.
thoughts, feelings. And like later I'll talk to my friends and they'll be like, oh my God, yeah, like what you post on your close friends. I'm like, no. That was the main friends. They're like, oh my God, you were kind of being nuts. And I'm like, I must have done my job right. Yeah, I'm
So you're
trying to
just,
live
like,
my
looking-
life
I
as
was
if
gonna
I'm on
say,
the close friends.
You're looking for a reaction.
Have you ever been talking to someone and be like, oh yeah, I put that on my close friends, or they'll say, oh, I saw that on your close friends, and someone is next to them is like, oh, I didn't see that.
No, I want that so badly.
Dude, it happens to me all the time.
What I want to do now, so I'm going back to New York to like go see a lot of my friends and stuff, and I want to just like add all of them to my close friend and just remove just one that we're gonna hang out with and post something crazy, just to see what it's like for one person to not see it and see if there's even a conversation.
I just know my mom is listening to this right now, being like, "What is close friends and why am I not on it?"
And if you're her mom, don't worry about it because you're obviously not on it. Let's get to some more callers. Remember, if you want to join the conversation, you can 888-916 on air or 888-91 on air 888-916-6247. Demi, what is going on? Let's talk about some
Family
stuff with close
dynamics.
friends. Hell yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
What's
Demi.
So one time I was not expecting this, and I was just, going through Instagram, and I looked at my neighbor's close friends, and normally his close friend story is just like him smoking, but this particular night it was his full-blown you-know-what tape.
Oh.
We're talking sex, right?
Duct tape.
Yes, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say that or not. But his full-blown sex tape, and I was just like, excuse me, I texted him real quick, and I was like, did you mean to put that up there? And he's like, oh my God, no, I didn't. Like,
Wait, how long was
the
it?
whole thing.
Not his dick. How long was the
It
video?
was like several slides.
Oh.
Good for him, honestly.
Like,
I've
was
never
your-
lasted that long.
This was your neighbor?
My sex tape is one slide. It's
My
15
upstairs
seconds.
neighbor.
Oh my
we met like on our building's rooftop during COVID, and like we just occasionally see each other here and there. So I was not expecting to know him that well.
What was his response back to your text when you were like, hey, did you mean to post that? He's like, absolutely.
Oh, he of course was just like, oh my God, no, I can't believe that. Thanks for telling me. I'm so sorry you had to see that. And I was just like, well, it was entertaining.
So did you share it around first before you told him?
Did you screen record?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we didn't have any mutuals. so.
Okay.
Neighbor privacy.
No screen record.
This is a New York issue though, because like honestly, outside of social media, I feel like people who have sex in New York, a lot of times there's voyeurism. People keep the windows open, I'm like, I've seen a million people have sex. I've literally been congregated out front of a bar in New York where everyone was smoking, and somebody just goes, oh, "Look!" and we all look up, and this girl's just riding this guy like in the window, and I was like, "Good for her."
Oh,
I was like, they're having a better night than literally all of us.
That happened to me, but in LA when my neighbor across the way, and I could see him, was waking me up every morning because they were having sex. It became my alarm clock. And, me single in my room, like waking up feeling like fried eggs. And I'm just like, can you guys shut up? It's not cool. Wait, I have a question, Demi. What did you do the next time you saw your neighbor? Have you like run into him since? It's been hey.
Oh, yeah. No, we have crossed paths, like, coming in and out of the building and stuff, and it's kind of just like, hi, like, pretend like nothing happened.
Hi, seen your dick.
No, seen it in action.
And was it? Wait, do you have good things to report? Was it at least like a good sex tape?
I mean, it was a pretty good sex tape, honestly.
Right.
It was like his POV for a bit, showed quite a lot of things.
Oh, so it's like cinematic.
Fucking POVs change? What does he have, a full cinematographer on set?
Is your neighbor Jay
Well,
Alvarez?
I've seen that. I've seen that sex
hasn't?
tape. Have you?
No,
Everyone has.
She hasn't.
He's a creative as well, so it was high quality. I would say that.
He's
hell
a
yeah.
creative.
You were nice to let him know because since you don't know him that well, it wasn't really your obligation to tell him. But thank God you
I
did.
wonder like how many other people saw that.
Seemed like nobody else.
We knew each other.
Yeah.
But like we didn't really even know each other that well, and I was on his close friends. And 9 times out of 10, it was just like him like smoking and just like.
Well, he's a
stuff like
creative.
that.
Yeah, he's a creative. And honestly, it was probably just you on the close friends. And he's like, oh, I didn't mean to
Whoops!
post
Did you
that.
like it though?
Oh, that's like in Curb when the accidental text on purpose. It's the
Yeah.
accidental
Right.
sext on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
The
my
accidental
bad.
close friends on purpose.
Yeah.
He did it on purpose just to see what kind of results he could get.
Yeah. Well,
Honestly,
thanks for calling in, Demi. We really appreciate it.
See,
on the
that's
show,
why you should say goodbye.
we're gonna say goodbye instead of giving you our normal thumbs down.
Yeah. We're going to say
That's a
BRB.
polite thing to do, guys.
We're using Grace etiquette today.
Grace is teaching us so much. So
Wait, what's funny is when we started this show, we like had never done like live stuff before.
Yeah.
And we were told that like in radio, it's just normal to just have callers on and then have callers off. Like they're used to being on and off because we get a lot of callers on the show. And we were like, but we like to say hi and bye. And they were like, don't do all that.
Oh no, I think
Don't do all that.
you should stick to your guns.
Okay.
we'll stick to our
Always stick to your
guns. Well,
guns.
after this, we want to get into a little rejection therapy where we're going to help someone go through a little rejection because, it fucking hurts when you do that.
Is
And
it
then-
me?
Not you. We
Oh,
have.
okay.
I was gonna say I didn't sign up to do rejection therapy. I'm not there yet in my headspace today.
She's not there in her healing
No,
journey.
thank
No,
you.
no.
You're on the advisory side of the
Yeah,
couch.
don't worry. We're on the other
I'm
side.
gonna be a big help.
Yeah. Well, we will be a big help, and we will talk to you guys after the break. We are taking your calls. She's dishing her advice, her jokes, her thoughts, everything.
Here we go, guys.
It's an open forum.
How's it been so far?
Amazing.
All right, cool.
I'd say 10 out of 10. But
right,
you're already
rock on.
like a pro. This is like.
Thank you.
I think I'd be more nervous if I was like, this is the first time you're ever doing a show in front of a mic. Luckily, you're a comedian and you do stuff all the time.
This is
You also
How
have
do you
a
feel?
walk in the park. No, this is great. This has been fun.
But you also have your own show on the Unwell network called Disgraceful.
Thank you for the plug.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you.
Guys.
You dialed in, my
In-house.
guy.
How is it?
It's been great. It's
Yeah.
been really good. I was having a hard time with the first couple episodes just because like it's so different like when you're hosting, I
Right.
guess.
Totally.
And I just did my episode this week with Hannah Berner, and after I did that episode, I was like, oh, I got it. We're back.
Yes.
We're back. I got
So it took
this.
like a couple to like get it going from your dynamic.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
once you kind of got going, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds good. All the stuff
Yeah,
I've
and
listened
I
to.
mean, she is like a girl's girl. She's so fun.
Oh, dude,
She's
yeah,
so
we're
funny.
pals. So it was like
That's
we were
so
just
nice.
riffing. It was good
And
stuff.
so you feel like that gave you like now the full confidence moving forward to like apply.
I just kind of had like a better head on my shoulders about it, I
Yeah.
guess, because you know the first couple are pretty fucking rocky.
Yeah.
But also just like doing a podcast in general is like, I remember I had other friends in New York too who were like sitting down to do podcasts, super funny all the time. And then it was like they sat down, they were like, we had to like get the jitters out, just like doing the first one. Because
Yeah.
once the camera's on, it's like you talk super naturally. And then once it's on, like the mic is like, like I'm not funny anymore. Wait.
Yeah.
And
what
I
happened?
do this thing where I like switch in and out of voices. I don't know. I don't even know who I am.
I
It's
do this
crazy.
and they judge me.
Yeah, no, people
don't
give me
judge
shit
you.
online. I don't know who I am. Sorry.
yeah, and also like you're testing out different characters.
I do voices all the time and nobody understands me.
I just
so.
do my voice, which you know is questionable in itself. So
Yeah.
it is-
You gotta be better to yourselves, guys.
I think we got to
no,
do
don't worry, I love myself.
We got to do better. She's like, don't
Getting
worry.
mixed signals.
She's like, don't worry. There's no shortage of
I like to
love
you know
for
be a little
herself.
toxic sometimes.
Yeah.
Someone has to be.
Yeah.
So should we get to some more callers?
Yeah. Let's get to rejection therapy.
Rejection Therapy.
Rejection therapy.
All right. We got Heather on the line. Heather, talk to us. What can we help you with?
Hey guys, so I just graduated from college, and me and my best friends were thank you. It was really hard.
All right. Have a nice day, Heather. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, so me and my best friends were like all supposed to move to New York together, and you know there's 5 of us. So I come to find out that 2 and 2 are living together, and I'm the one odd man out. Which sucks because now I'm just feeling super awkward because it's like, am I still supposed to move to New York and hang out with them? Like,
Yeah.
do I live alone? And I mentioned to them that I was like a little bit iffy about moving, but I never said it for sure. And then they were like, oh, well, we thought that you were moving home. And it's like, I never said that for sure, you know? So I'm just a little confused. I don't know, like, guys, like, what do I do? Like, this is so awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's brutal. I've been a victim of being the 5th person in a 5 group friend group, and the 2 they always pair off, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about yesterday, like with trios in
Yeah.
friend groups, that there's always one person left out. And so I feel like with a 5 group, it feels probably even worse. 'Cause
They
there's
hit
just,
the Pentagon. Sorry.
there's just even more like personalities that you feel like you're part of. The one thing I will say is that this will kind of give you an opportunity to branch out now. Like they're all in their little foursome, and I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose. You know, if they said you were a little iffy, maybe they just were like, okay, we have to find a place. I know in New York, it's like you have to find a place within 5 minutes of deciding you want it. And so maybe the opportunity arose, they grabbed it. And I don't think they were like, let's leave out Heather. They weren't just being like, fuck Heather. But now moving forward, I think you could totally still hang out with them, but maybe be like, okay, you guys kind of made your choice.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to make mine, and like use this as an opportunity to branch out and make new friends when you move there. I think you should still move there.
I see. I see it as these 2 people, the 2 people and the 2 people, they were gonna live with each other regardless, and then they just use that as like a cop out. Like
Yeah.
you even mentioning like, oh yeah, like maybe, and they use that and they run with it so that they don't look like assholes. And I hate that shit. That really sucks. I'm sorry your friends are a little shit. But I say still move to New York. My sister's gonna be looking for a roommate if you need a roommate.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And all she needs is 2 cardboard boxes and a string.
Yeah,
She
it doesn't
sleeps
need
on it.
much.
She won't pay any rent. And does she cook?
Well, yeah, she's an all around great gal, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't let this defer your move.
Yeah, don't let this defer your move whatsoever. I think just still get out there and like you're gonna make new friends.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is actually a good cop out. You have no drama. So you live with your own and on your own, and there won't be any drama.
5-person friend group living. I can't imagine. I don't know anybody who's like in a 5-person friend group and lives together in New York. It's like a crazy place.
My 5 friends. I have it tattooed for listeners at home.
Oh, okay. I was giving like the pinky dap up. Cool.
Oh, so you are in a group of 5.
Yeah.
And how is it?
No, we got to practice the new thing. We got to say goodbye, Heather.
Goodbye,
first.
Heather.
Thank you for
so
calling.
I hope you feel better about being rejected.
We did not give you a thumbs down, Heather.
No, Heather's gonna be all right. I
Yeah.
think she's gonna be good. You know.
I mean,
Wait, what's the 5 of them for?
Oh, I grew like my girlfriends from home, like 5 of us, and so yeah. It was like when we went on a class trip to Philadelphia, it was assumed that the 4 of them would be in a room, and I was like, fuck.
Oh, really?
Now I have to figure out who I'm going to sleep with.
See, that was a nightmare for me. Like I had a thing back in middle school called an all school trip.
Yeah.
And it was like at the end of the year, it was this big thing. And all year, basically we would switch every other year, camp for the all school trip or city for the all school trip. If you went to a city, you were in a hotel room, it was 4 people. If you went to a camp, it was 8 people per bunk.
Oh shit.
And so it was like every year, all we're thinking about is who's going to be in my bunk for the all school trip, even though it's a fucking 3-day trip. You have panic attacks. I was having panic, and I was close with a lot of different groups, but I wasn't in enough of the groups.
To be like considered an auto.
Correct.
An auto bunk.
So I got thrown to the fucking scrap heap. Like every trip, I ended up like trying to hang out with other people, but I'm telling you, it made me so fucking depressed. Honestly.
Yeah. It sucks to be left out.
Yeah.
Like there's no way around it. It just sucks to not be chosen. It sucks for everyone to make little plans behind your back and only fill you in at the last second when they have to. And so I really feel for Heather. Yeah. But it just shows that those aren't your forever friends. Or maybe you can be friends with them, but you don't want to be a roommate with someone who's going to do that.
And also like New York moves like so fast. Like you can, how many people, like once you moved to New York, did you meet? Like you met fucking so many people.
Yeah, so many people.
It's
so
like,
many different groups. It's like, and that's the funny thing when you're an adult, it's great to have a bunch of different groups.
Totally.
When you're a kid, it's tough because there's these.
Yeah, you want to be in a clique and like safe when you're younger.
And when you're an adult, you just want a sense of community.
Yeah.
And you could like pick and choose which you go to.
I'm still trying to find that here because I refuse. I just saw another thing today on TikTok. I fucking hate run clubs, and we'll talk about ones in New York too, but there's like one today that I saw, and it was like fuck the Venice run club, and it's just like 1,000 people just running down Venice, and I'm like, in New York, like they do this shit on the fucking West Side Highway, and I'm like, you are fucking assholes. I hate it.
It reminds me of like The Lion King when he's like Stampede.
Yeah, literally.
Simba's down there, and it's like one girl trying to like not get hit by a million runners. That one girl is
horrible. I'm still trying to find my community because I just moved out here, so I'm like, I'm figuring it out. In New York, for me, I'm like such a simple creature of habit. I'll just like pretty much whenever it's warm, like go play basketball every day at like 4 or 5 p.m. because you can just do that in New York at any court. I have a lot of just
sometimes Adam Sandler's there.
I played against him,
and
he fucking beat me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It fucking sucked.
He's always just ready to go.
It was very embarrassing because I was talking a lot of shit, and I was like, "Damn, he's way faster."
To the Sandman? What are you doing?
Well, not big shit. I was just more like, "Are you not going to score?"
Imposter syndrome in the men.
Well, I was just way taller, and he's way faster than I thought. Way faster, and he's way older than me. So I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, but I realized he plays
he's older, he's faster,
but he
stronger.
plays all the time. So that is what it is. But in New York, you can kind of just go to the courts, and for guys to just be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm a guy. I like playing basketball. All right, cool. Let's hang out all the time."
Must be nice.
Those run clubs, I think that's like why people do them. It's like make friends. My friend Dan and my friend Yvette, they made a really funny like short series online.
I know Yvette.
About
Yvette Segan. Shout out to you.
Shout out.
What was the series?
But the series was like making fun of how run clubs are so cliquey and like incestual, and it was really
it's on YouTube thing. I saw it.
I also made a run club moment as well, which I'll be posting soon. But yeah, I went to the run club, I skipped the run, went to the club and waited for the boys to come and flirt with them.
I guess that's also a thing.
I just skirted that. But speaking of community, I have a question for both of you.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, I did go to community college.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess I did too. I don't know. I'm from Canada. So I just opt out of all the American things that you guys talk about.
There's so many things she doesn't know about America. Like, I'll just mention any.
I know what community college is, but I couldn't tell you if mine was one.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, I asked her the other day, I forget who it was. I think it was like, at one point I was like, have you ever heard of Sacagawea? And she was like, who the fuck is that?
Oh, wow.
You don't know Sacagawea? You didn't also know like Lewis and Clark? Like, I'm not even
know
just
what?
talking about explorers.
I know a lot of
Yeah,
things.
you are just, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I know a lot
I
of
said
things that
someone
you
else.
don't know.
I said, that's true, but I said someone else too, and it was like, what?
Well, it's American history.
I know, but I always
I didn't
think that
learn
we're
that.
number one in the world.
We'll try to come up with one thing about Canada.
It's cold.
No, but like historically,
Historically, it used to... Exactly.
a
that's
historical
not-
figure. You see, like,
Yeah.
you
You don't know
give
the
her
Algonquins
shit,
and
but
the Iroquois?
I couldn't tell you
Wait,
anything
wait,
about
wait.
Canada.
One thing about Canada. That's crazy. I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe you should go back to school.
Okay.
I know, but
Can you give us a Canadian fact, like, to move forward with?
Trudeau did blackface.
That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to say that.
Man.
That's all I know.
That's all I know.
can't
That's a
speak-
tough look.
I can't speak ill of my nation. Let's move on. Rave daughter or sports gambling son?
Rave daughter or sports gambling son? What is
Sports
a rave
betting
daughter?
A rave daughter, a girl who goes to raves all the time and is out there in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they do at raves.
What do they do at raves?
She's probably, getting some sort of pill from a guy named Steve. She's getting free drinks. She's dancing. She's sweating.
Oh, she's having a blast.
She's having a blast.
What's the sports betting son?
She's losing her keys. Like, she has a dead phone.
She's just like mommy.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's building community. She's
Yeah.
becoming resourceful.
Yeah.
And sports gambling son?
Is someone who's addicted to gambling on sports.
So one's a bad thing and the other one sounds peaceful. Give me the son. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
I think for me, rave daughter, because she's like learning really good life skills that can be applied later on in life. Like when you're in a rave, it's a really good sense of community.
Yeah.
You're talking to people, you're getting like learning how to barter sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I'll speak to you if you buy me a drink. Oh,
Oh.
like, what are you smoking? I'll have a puff. We
Oh,
can all be friends.
please. I know how to barter. Like you're coming back from a festival doing drugs being like, Mom, I learned all these community sharing skills.
But
mean-
this version of it sounds like a mooch. You should have your own stuff when you go to a
But
rave.
you should be sharing.
Yeah, sharing. Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
I think both of my kids I'm gonna have one rave daughter, and I'm gonna have, you know what, actually I'm probably gonna have a betting daughter and,
Yeah.
and a rave son. I
That's
think
what I
that's
was
what
gonna
I'm gonna
say.
end up having.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have
Have
both.
you ever
Please
sports
elaborate.
bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did that go?
I do it as part of like a community with my friends,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm not doing it all the time. It's like for a shared event that we're both like, all right, well, I'll throw like $5 on it and just hope.
Right. I just think that with sports betting, like that, is setting yourself up for financial like turmoil in the future. If you are addicted to sports betting, like, yeah, you can win big, but then you can also lose it all.
They say 100% of gamblers quit before they finally hit it big. So, guys, keep betting. This
Keep
is
betting.
totally solicited financial advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I come from a family of bookies. It's in the blood.
See, it's in your
Okay.
blood, and she's Irish. Do you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Oh, I'm on tour right now. Down for Anything tour. Come through, especially if you're in Florida. That Naples show is not selling. Thank you very much. You
Hell yeah. And where can the people follow you?
can follow me at Grace K. O'Malley on everything.
And at Disgraceful, too. Yeah.
And at Disgraceful, yes, of
Yeah.
course. That's linked in all those
And go watch her
chances.
new episode with Hannah Bernard.
Yeah.
Hell
fuck
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Thanks for
you
having
can
me,
follow
guys.
us at Dialed In. You can follow me at Rachie Fried Poulet.
me at Montaine. We had a ton of fun, Grace. We hope you had as much fun as
I
we
sure
did.
did. Thank you guys.
We
And,
loved your advice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said.
Everything
She
you
blacked
said
out.
was sound and well
Anyway,
well said.
we love you all, and we will see you same time tomorrow.
Bye.